So why don't I preach body positivity? Body positivity to me is just the flip side of the same coin to body obsession. It still puts the emphasis on turning all our thoughts towards the body, having this great power over us. Hi, and welcome to today's coaching session. I will be focusing on how to get out of the cycle of body obsession and get into body neutrality. If you are a subscribed member of my community, then hi friends. And if you aren't, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can get free access to all my best coaching tips. All right, friends, let's get into today's video. What if we were able to be body neutral? What does that even mean? Having a body, any body, is a good thing. As humans, we put so much focus on having a good body that we forget all the good that our bodies can do. If I had to name the number one problem my clients bring to their sessions with me, that would be a poor body image. Women of all shapes and sizes tell me pretty much the same story. They hate the way they look. I think that I have maybe met a handful of women in my whole lifetime that actually had true body acceptance. One of my favorite shows when I was younger was Sex and the City. Years ago, I was so delighted when it came on TBS so that I could watch it without having to endure all of those R-rated moments that the show always brought to the scene. One of my favorite scenes was when Carrie is talking to her three best friends and she begins to complain about her body, and then one by one, they each started to complain about something that they hated about their bodies. Then it came to Samantha, and she's the self-assured vixen of the show, and she kind of stared blankly back at her friends who were surprised that she didn't have anything bad to say about herself. And she said, "What? I happen to love the way I look." And I always loved that. And even though this isn't a perfect example of what body neutrality looks like, it was really fun to see a woman flip the script on body image. I was fascinated to see a woman so freely and openly accept herself. At the time, it was something that I had wanted, but that I didn't really have. And ever since then, I have spent most of my adult life trying to make peace with my body, with its shape and size, its limitations, its abilities, and even its flaws. This is certainly a work in progress for me, but I want to share with you how I set myself on this path. First, I started by rejecting the mainstream diet culture narrative that you always have to be in pursuit of that ideal body. Then I had to let go of this body positivity narrative that all bodies are beautiful. And it's not that I disagree with that statement, because I don't. But I had to let go of the idea that I had to think that every part of me was beautiful in order to accept myself. It's just too big of a job. Then I finally came around to the idea of feeling neutral about my body. And then I started to feel pride and see beauty in what my body can actually do instead of what it looks like. Essentially, body neutrality aims to encourage you to accept the body that you're in and focus on its achievements rather than its appearance. Our bodies keep us alive, and we are destroying them to look a certain way. Ladies and even gentlemen, let's love our bodies and let go of the ifs and buts. If I was a little bit smaller or stronger or bigger, then I'll love myself. Or I'll love myself when my forehead is smooth and I have Botox. Years ago, I started lifting weights and I let go of focusing on cardio so much, and I discovered that I'm actually really strong. I found that I could lift almost as much as some of the guys at the gym. While I have let this strict lifting schedule go, I have discovered an important truth. My body is not an ornament. Long ago, I became addicted to that feeling of being strong and confident. It has been a painful separation, separating my appearance from my abilities. Now, like any normal person, I still have moments where I want to change my appearance so that I don't feel self-conscious, but I try to stop those thoughts dead in their tracks. That kind of thinking is not showing the best of me. I cannot be the best version of myself when I am not physically and mentally healthy. And my mental health suffers when I'm constantly beating myself up for not looking a certain way. Now, how often do we hear the women in our lives say things like, oh, sorry I don't have my makeup on, or sorry, I'm just wearing sweats today, or whatever other apology for their appearance. Now, if you were to keep track, you would be pretty astonished by the number of apologies for their appearance that come out of the mouths of the women that you love, or even out of your own mouth. I have heard these sentiments flow out of my own mouth, but it is something that I am committed to stop doing because I believe all of these apologies are really not necessary. The next time you hear a woman apologize for the way she looks, try your best to not do this socially acceptable thing and reassure her of her beauty or make her feel better about it. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but instead, try saying something like this. I don't care about the way that you look. I am here to spend time with you. I don't care if you're not wearing makeup, wearing your sweats, or if your hair isn't done. I care about you. If we start to change this narrative, we can change that tape playing in all of our minds and really begin to believe that we are more than something to be looked at. Now, in my coaching practice, there's this fascinating thing that's happened as I have coached my clients through this process of body neutrality. Their intimacy with their spouse was improving by leaps and bounds. Now imagine being in a place where judgment for your body has disappeared and your spouse was able to appreciate the loveliness of you without the burden of having to reassure you constantly that you are pretty enough, thin enough, or attractive enough. It's a game changer. Now, I love to hear that my cute husband is attracted to me or that he thinks I'm pretty because I'm human. Of course, those things matter to me. But the difference is I don't need him to say those things to me anymore. When I have a client tell me that this concept has finally clicked, I almost always get a report that the intimacy, and I'm not just talking about in the bedroom, has improved. They are able to let their guards down as they stop seeing the interactions that they have with their spouse as an opportunity to reinforce their sense of self. I love watching them grow through this process. It's probably my favorite part. I believe that self-improvement is essential for growth. I know that having an exercise and healthful eating habits for the purpose of being kind to your body is really a good thing. It's essential. It's something that I myself am working on. I have absolutely no problem with Botox, makeup, exercise, boob jobs, teeth whitening, or any other vain thing that we do to ourselves in Western society. But when we do these things to repair our own sense of self, it is all wasted effort and wasted money. Let me give you an example. Now, I got these braces about 6 months ago, and all of the wonderful people in my life told me how I just didn't need them and that they liked my smile the way that it was. Now, of course, I don't need braces. It wasn't a physical thing, but it's just something that I wanted to do for myself. Not so someone else would like me or think that I was prettier or for any other reason. Now that I'm about halfway through this, I am so glad that I'm doing it for myself because they're a total nuisance and I would have really have hated to go through this process for someone other than myself. Now, we could all use a little more kindness, and we need to begin by directing that kindness to ourselves. Each time you have a judgmental thought about your body, try to repeat one of these 3 phrases. My body is a gift, and I'm grateful for all that it can do. Or, my body is not an ornament, but a capable vessel for the things I get to accomplish. Or this is where I started, and it's super simple. I am not my body. Now, I hope you are able to accept the wonder of your existence and love all that your body can do. Feel free to give this video a like and make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell so that you can be the first to know when I share my exclusive coaching tips. You are amazing. And remember, you got this.